I so love the Beatles music, and by virtue of some of the new interpretations of it, not necessarily the Beatles version, the slowed down versions of the songs, whatever it is, I just found myself just diving back 30 years into Beatlemania and sitting there making the praises of John Lennon and Paul McCartney and Ringo and George Harrison all over again, just going, listen to these songs. It's just, these songs still are some of the greatest songs ever written. They're still some of the greatest songs. So that was, I find myself stuck there because it was a Beatles musical almost, you know, using it to interpret different things that happened in the 60s and different, telling the story of people's lives and whatever it is. But I found myself just so fascinated by their music, I was a little distracted. You know what I mean?
What is there about their music that endures?
Well, gee, I hate to get spiritual here, but it has to be a touch of something up above. There was and I know the history of the Beatles. You know, I was one of those guys that when the Hamburg tapes came out, in other words, the nightclub sets that the Beatles were doing in Hamburg, Germany, I was listening to all that, and you could hear every one of their roots. You know, the Little Richards, the Gene Vincents, the Frank Ifields, and the Motown sound, and you hear it. And then you hear on the Hamburg tapes, you hear them doing a couple original songs, and you just go, it's the stuff that they loved, that they dived into. But there was, sometimes I don't even like to use this word, but there was just some sort of magic combination with John Lennon and Paul McCartney. My goodness, you know, and just how they did it. There was, and of course there were other English groups, you know, Jerry and the Pacemakers and all those bands, and they had some good songs, but what was it about Lennon and McCartney? I don't know. It's like, well, what can you say? What was it about Cole Porter? You know what I mean? What was it to Bing Crosby? What was, you know, all these people that have changed music so drastically? But I don't know, that John Lennon and Paul McCartney stuff, you know, just great stuff, just great stuff. So.